So we've got a number of challenges and problems that this presents for us. The first problem I ran into is criminal ignorance. Talk about the criminals themselves. They tend to not be the most educated or the sharpest axe in the box, right? So their initial understanding of this was, if I'm an Indian and I'm a criminal, I can do whatever I want. I'll never get in trouble. So we had people doing absolutely outrageous things right off the bat, and then when they have law enforcement contact, they're like, hey, I'm an Indian, you can't do anything to me. Well, that's not how it works, and we'll talk about why that is later on. The criminals are starting to kind of figure this out, but still not completely. Right after the decision, when this misunderstanding was really prevalent, we had a really bad problem with speeding. Because the tribal members were often under the impression that there wasn't anything that the state or local law enforcement could do to them. And at the beginning, everybody was so afraid to do anything because they didn't want to get sued and be personally bankrupt. Sometimes law enforcement didn't do anything. But we worked real hard on sorting that out so that everybody knows their roles and the kind of powers that they have. The big hole in this system is non-Indian on Indian crime. And by the way, when I say Indian, I know that's not a word that's probably very politically correct. You know, we tend to refer to people of Native descent as Native Americans, tribal members, whatever it may be. When I say Indian, I'm using it in the legal context. So in the legal field, when we deal with these cases, we use that word because that's what's in the cases, that's what's in the statutes, that's what's in the treaties. So again, not meant to be pejorative in any way, but the big hole is non-Indian on Indian crime. Okay, if it's major crime, so you know your rapes, your kidnappings, your murders, and homicide, the feds are going to be able to prosecute those today. What they cannot prosecute are the property crimes, and the reason they can't prosecute them is they have insufficient resources, not enough people, not enough judges, not enough prosecutors, defense attorneys, not big enough courthouses to manage that level of caseload. Additionally, federal court handles relative to state court a very small number of crimes. So all these crimes are getting pushed into the federal system, which is not designed to deal with that volume. They've got real specific timelines that they have to follow or cases dismissed that really make their job a lot more difficult because their system's not built to handle it, whereas state court is. So the end result has been, if a case can only be prosecuted by the feds and it doesn't involve substantial bodily injury, they may never get to it. Ever. So, as our organized criminal groups figure this out, they prey on Native American victims. They go out of their way to find people and places that are Native American to victimize. Because they realize, if I break into a Native American's home, and I'm not Native American, the only people that can prosecute me are the feds, and it's just not happening. I may get arrested, but I'm going to get out of jail, and they'll never get around to me. That's the most important problem that we're facing right now.